For sale does not equal buyable. I can't tell you the amount of times where we have put a business for sale, and guess what? We've got people coming in, we've got window shoppers, we've got NDAs being signed, we're sending out CAMs, we're having interviews with the business owners, and guess what? Nobody wants to buy. And there are several reasons why that doesn't happen. There are several reasons why 70% of the businesses that go to market never sell. And I'm gonna tell you what those 3 reasons are right now. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. And this is All Business with myself, Vince Perri, where this show is all about teaching you guys about everything there is to know about business. In particular, how to start a business, how to scale a business, and how to sell a business, how to make a business that's actually even sellable, which we're gonna go over today, why it is actually so difficult for you to sell your business, even after you put it to market, because there might be a lot of people that might be interested, but if it's not perfect for that person, then guess what? You're never going to be able to sell it. And I'm telling you this from experience as a business broker on why it's so difficult to actually sell a business. Before we get into that topic, I just have one simple favor. This is a new show we're launching. I spent 5 years launching the Public Adjuster Show, and now we're talking about All Business with Vince Perri. So we just started. So what I'm looking for is some help, is some assistance here. And all you have to do is do 2 things. Number 1 is I need you to subscribe to the show. And if you've already subscribed to the show, I'd like for you to just share this show with one person. But in particular, one person that you think will actually gain some benefit from the content on this show. So if you can go ahead and do that for me, it would be really great for the algorithm, the subscription, and the sharing. And yeah, check out on some of the videos that we've done already. I think you'll actually get something out of it. So by the end of this video, you're going to know why most listed businesses never close. 70%. Guys, this was an actual study that was done by the Exit Planning Institute, a legitimate survey that was actually done several years ago, that 70% of businesses that go to market never actually sell. It's crazy to actually think about it, because if you're a business broker, or if you're selling a business, or if you're a business owner and you want to go ahead and sell your business, the odds are against you. You only have a 30% chance of that business actually even selling. The next thing is I'm going to teach you the 3 deal killers that I see firsthand. There are 3 things that I see that no matter what, even after we put it to market and the seller is dying to sell and he's willing to negotiate, that we still cannot find a legitimate buyer, find a legitimate offer, or actually take it all the way to closing because of these 3 deal killers. I'm gonna tell you how to actually run a quick buyability audit, right? Before you even go to market. We do a 90-day exit sprint. I could basically make your ugly baby look very pretty before we even put it out to market. And there's really just 4 actual things that I focus on, that if we clean these 4 things up, you can go ahead and sell your business. And then what to fix. If you don't want to become the part of the 70%, I'm going to tell you exactly what you could fix. So let's first talk about the 3 deals that kill a deal: dependency, drift, and doubt. That's dependency, drift, and doubt. Let's talk about dependency. What is dependency? You all know it already. It's owner dependency. By far, when someone is going to buy a business, they want to buy the business so that they can run the business. They don't want to buy the business because they want a job. Most of these people that are buying businesses, we're looking at just a handful of kind of people. And one of those things is somebody coming from a corporate America job, wanting to actually make their own schedule, run their own life, and spend more time with their family. If they're going from a 9-to-5 corporate job where they're actually stuck to their computer, stuck to their job all the time, and don't have a lot of time for family, you and I already know entrepreneurship, it ain't that. It's probably a lot more. But even so, if they're buying a business, they want to make sure that an operator is already put in place, that a manager is already put in place, that there's some kind of leadership structure in place, or at least potential for people to actually be promoted into leadership, so that the person buying the business doesn't have to be so involved in the business. So if you're going to go ahead and sell your business, I'm talking to sellers now, make sure that you do something beforehand so that you can make sure it doesn't look so owner dependent. So for example, if you got some strong people in your business already that you could potentially promote into some kind of leadership position, that might be something you want to do sooner than later. They'll really appreciate the promotion. It doesn't always mean actual more money that you have to pay them. Sometimes people actually really thrive on some more responsibility with the potential to actually move up the ladder in the future. I would go ahead and do that. Also, systems and operations are huge. The more systems and operations you have in place and your employees are actually using them, the less dependent they are going to be on you to actually be in the business. And then the last thing I would say is just really be a leader. Be a leader and empower your employees to actually make decisions. The more you're able to do that, the less dependent they'll be on you. And then if I can actually pitch that to somebody who's buying the business, that this is the potential, this is where it's going, this is all the things that we've implemented over the last year or so, you have a really good chance of selling that business as opposed to if it's actually owner dependent. The next thing is drift. Okay, this is a big one that actually caught me by surprise. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I've been a business broker for just a year and a half now. And what I've noticed when I put businesses for sale is the seller, the owner of the business, guess what? As soon as we list it, they check out. They check out. They don't actually want to even run the business anymore. So they're like, all right, well, we've got the business for sale. Somebody's going to buy it. What do I have to do anything anymore? Well, let me tell you something about a business and its worth. Although we get 3 years of financials and we always look at the historical data, that's really just for trend. The buyer of the business wants to know what the business is worth today. One of the reasons why we get a trailing 12 months of SDE, of EBITDA, of profit, of revenue is because we want to know what it's up to this date. Well, if your business is for sale on the market for say 3 months, that trailing 12 months now actually has a 6-month difference because you're taking away the first 3 months and you're adding 3 new months. So if we're taking away 3 of the strongest months and we're adding now 3 of the worst months because the business owner decided to check out once we listed the business, that trailing 12 months can have a significant effect on the actual value of the business. For example, I had a business that literally dropped over $100,000 in SDE. If you put the same multiple that we had it before, we were looking at a significant price decrease, over about $200,000 to $250,000 in a price decrease that we didn't have before. It's not good because those last 3 months, well, they weren't as profitable. They didn't have as much gross revenue and they had some extra expenses they had to keep track of. But let's face it, mentally speaking, if you're an entrepreneur and you're watching this show, you know how important it is to be mentally checked into your business. Just literally thinking about your business actually helps grow your business. I know if you're not a business owner, you may not understand that, but it's the truth. If you're checked out, if you're feeling depressed, if you've got personal issues going on, a lot of times that affects the business. Even if everything is running the same way it is, because you are mentally checked out and you're not all in on your business, you just tend to do a little bit worse with the business. It just tends to go down a little bit. Well, that's what happens when we list a business. So if I could give you any advice, if you're a business owner, you're thinking about selling your business, if and when you decide to actually make that decision, that's the time to just for that one last haul, final push, give it all you got, because the better the business looks in those trailing 12 months, in those months that you have the business listed, the better it's going to look for the buyer, because now they're buying something that's really, truly valuable up to that point, and you'll get the top dollar that you want. The last one is doubt. What's doubt? That's basically window shoppers don't close, because it's a huge decision. You have to understand that it's like buying a huge piece of real estate when you're buying a business. You're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars that they're having to put in. They're having to get a loan. They're having to come out cash. They're having to make a very, very big decision. Also, a lot of these people that are buying, again, they're making a huge shift in their lives so they can go ahead and purchase this business. So what I have noticed is the less pressure that we can put on them, right? By actually building a business that we are selling that could actually run without them. Building a business that has all the systems and operations put in place. Building a business that already has leads coming in and a really good social awareness of what the actual brand looks like all across the board. And having super clean financials. The less pressure we can take away from the buyer who's making a huge life decision from corporate America to entrepreneurship, from a 9-to-5 to working on their own thing, from a consistent income to a not so inconsistent income when it comes to entrepreneurship, the less pressure we can provide them, the better it will be, and the easier it will be for them to actually make the decision. So those are the 3 by far, no matter what. We're talking dependency, we're talking drift, and we're talking doubt. So the last thing I want to leave with you is the 4 things that we actually put together, right, to make sure that every business is sellable. To take that 30% chance of you selling and crank it up to 75, 85% chance. It's really broken down into 4 things. And this is what we do in our 90-day sprint. You could literally hire me for just 90 days and I will turn the entire business around, because I bring you the kitchen sink. All my connections, all the people that I know, we come in and we turn this business around in 4 ways. Number 1, systems and processes. We have a service where we can actually put a virtual assistant into your company and just turn around all of the systems and processes and put an operating system into place so that the business does not depend on the owner, so that the employees are held accountable for the metrics and the scorecard they are supposed to keep up with to make sure everything is being done the way it's supposed to be done. And all the owner has to do is take a look at the metrics every week and can make decisions based on that. Number 2 is your branding and social awareness. That means having the same brand colors and similar brand across all of your social media platforms and your website and your Google reviews, making sure that we're kicking those up as well. That's going to make it look really, really pretty for when it's about to go to sale. We've got 5-star Google reviews. We've got consistent branding throughout all the social media and website, and everything just looks nice and clean. The next one is the financials, making sure that there's clean financials, making sure that we have all of the historical data, and we're going to give you, the business owner, some predictability as to what's coming and what the trends are by actually cleaning all of the financials. And most importantly, we do a pre-due diligence. Pre-due diligence to make sure that there's nothing that's going to come up after someone signs a LOI and they start doing their own due diligence. We're going to already do that, have all that covered, and we're going to provide that to the buyer before anything even happens. Then the last one is human and customer capital, right? That is basically all of your employees. We're going to make sure that not only that they have now the systems and processes in place to actually be successful, but we're going to give them a little bit of a game plan to actually move up within the company and make sure that we establish some kind of leadership and all of the roles and responsibilities are completely clear. If you can get the roles and responsibilities clear for your employees and also have those systems and operations put in place that they have to go by, fill out their scorecards, get all the metrics going, have your brandings the same all across the entire company and entire social media and everything, and have the finances clean, you've got a sellable business. We can do all that for you in 90 days, or you can go ahead and implement it yourself, because there's a way to do it and there's a way to do it right to make sure that your business is actually ready for sale. And you don't have to be part of the 70%. You can be part of the people that actually succeed in the selling of their business. Because let me tell you something, what I've learned over the last 1.5 2 years, it is not as easy to sell a business as you might think it is. It's a lot harder than you actually think. It's not just listing your business and letting it go ahead for sale. It's actually doing the work beforehand, preparing the business, making the ugly baby look pretty to the market to make sure that you can actually be successful in selling that business. And that's what we've got today, guys. It's time to get raw. It's time to get authentic. I'm not going to lie. One thing that I've noticed in the last few weeks on social media is what we call AI slop. And I don't want to be AI slop. I see people and their scripted videos, and I'm guilty of it. You could just scroll up and look at one of the other videos. It's kind of AI slop. It's what I know, but I'm reading a script. And guess what? We're not going to read a script anymore. Tony, are we going to read any more scripts?
No.
We're not reading any more scripts. This is coming from the heart. This is coming from my experience. I've got an outline that I'm looking at, but I'm telling you the truth. And everything that's coming out is actually from what I know, from what I've learned, and from what I've experienced. So if you're going to be selling a business, you need to understand that your odds are against you unless you prepare the business correctly, because those are the 3 things that actually kill a deal. And then those are the 4 things that you need to implement today to actually prepare your business for sale. That's what we got, guys. All Business with Vince Perri. If you could please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I would love for you to share this content with just one person, and one person that you think it'll actually be beneficial for, because like I said, it'll go a long way in the algorithm for us to be successful in this channel. That's what we got, guys. Have yourself an amazing week. We'll see you next week.